Hey MAT064 design team, this is Dan Petrock, and I'm making a video to help us get started using my math lab and the homework and things like that for the spring 2013 semester. So I'm going to start, go up here to the Pearson My Lab and Mastering.com. I'll have that link in my syllabus, which I'll also send to you. And go ahead and sign in. If you have not been able to sign in before, you're going to have to request access, and if you do that right here as an educator, you can request. The easiest is probably to email Megan McAtee, and she can get you an instructor access code. So when we hit sign in, I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So when you get in here, for those of you that have been working on this so far, you've copied in this MAT064 template, spring 2013. This is the template I have gone in and changed all the due dates for and assigned the sections and quizzes we're going to use this spring. So what you're probably going to do is go into your course list with this template, hit details, and actually delete yours. Go ahead and hit delete course. You're going to want to get rid of the one that you copied before. And now you're going to want to go ahead and copy this one. So if I go into create copy course, and this is you're going to use the exact same course ID. And this is Petrock 56724 if you copy that. And if I go create copy course, I'm actually going to do this, copy a course, copy another, copy one of your existing courses. And if it's one of yours, you would actually put that course ID right in there. But since I've already done it, I'm going to go ahead and do this MAT064 template. I'm going to copy it. So the reason I'm copying this is because the one I had you copy over only had instructor. Now this will allow students to actually get in there, and it's going to have a unique ID. And I want to call this one, so MAT064 spring 2013. So this is the one I'm going to use for students. And this is for student enrollment, enrollment start date. I'll just put today, end date. I'll put like, next June or something like that. Course start date, fine, and end is going to be, it's going to end in May, so I'll make sure I pick something after May. Okay. So I'm going to make this available for copy in case anybody else wants to copy this exact one. And so that's what you're going to do. You're going to set up your own particular one based on this template that I have modified. Okay, so this, I'm going to hit create course now. Oop, I need to change the, what did it say? It said your enrollment end date is later than your course end date. Oh, okay. I better change that then. Back to May. Here we go. Create course now. Okay. So this is my new ID I have for my class. So I'm going to actually put that right in my syllabus. I'm going to copy that right now. And now I'm going to open up my syllabus and say, okay, here is my course ID right here. There it is. So that's the ID my students will need when they get into my math lab. So they'll get they'll go in this, and they'll click on that, and they'll be able to get in my spring class. All right, enough of that. Let's go back to here. All right. So it looks like it is. There it is, MAT064 spring. So remember, you are going to want to recopy this template course right there, which is this one, this Petrock 56724, which is at the top of the curriculum map right here. There it is. So this is going to be the template you will copy, but make sure you make it so students can get into that. All right, so now I'm going to go into the homework here. So I'm actually going to go into this template course here, right there. And I'm going to go into control panel. And I'm going to go into homework and test manager. And as you can see here, I have assigned all the sections and quizzes that we'll be doing. And the dates I've assigned them to are usually the day after we do them. So let's go over like the section 1.5 here. I've got it due on the 15th. We're actually going over section 1.5 on the 14th. So I have a 4-day-a-week course, Monday through Thursday. So so we're going to go over that on Monday, the 14th. I'm making it due the 15th, which is a Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Let's say that isn't right. I want to change that. I can actually go into edit or settings for class. Edit allows you to change which questions or how many. But an easy way is just go settings per class and hit go. And let's say like, oh no, I want to make it due the next day. So I just click here and make it, so now it's due Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. I could change that to the 16th or the 14th or whatever. So if the dates don't align with what your course is, that's what you're going to want to do, is you're going to go settings per class and change the due dates. On all of these, I have allowed students to work and change score after the due date, but it will deduct per day from the final score, 10% per day. So, and that's only in the questions they haven't done. So let's say they did half of it, and then they did the other half after. Anything they do after the due date, it automatically deducts 10% per day. And then I do allow partial credit if there's multiple parts. And it has all the learning aids are there, and that's fine. It does update their study plan, which you know, there's a study plan part of my math that we can talk about too, which can help target what they need to work on. And then I have allowed this. So these are the settings I've done for pretty much every homework. I set the dates, allowed this 10% penalty. If you want to change that, you can do that there. And then I just hit save and assign. Well, I already did all this, so I don't need to. All right, so I did that for all the homeworks. And I try to do as best I could based on the schedule, and my schedule will be on the syllabus I send you as well for my particular class. Again, yours might be different if it's a Tuesday, Thursday situation, or Monday, Wednesday, or night course, or whatever. So, and then the quizzes, we've decided, or we talked about how we got the prerequisite quiz we want them to take initially in the course to help, you know, assess them where they're at. And then we've got these every time we give them an exam, we have these like Cycle 1 Part 1 quiz, and I'm going to go into that and just go into settings for class and that. And then these settings, but the default is I have them due the day before we're going to take the test over that. So actually the Cycle 1 test for me is on the 28th of January, so I make the quiz, the online quiz, due the 27th at 11:59 p.m. Allow them the partial credit. I have not been limiting attempts. I'm going to let them take this over as many times as they want. And I usually check the box. I guess I should probably do this one. I have them hit the save later. So like if they're working on it and they need to leave. But you can, you know, you can mess with that. You can determine if you want them to be able to hit save later, or if they need to do it all in one setting. And by default, I've set them all to 30 minutes, which I think they shouldn't take that long. But that's, again, something else. I hit the box to show remaining time. I've scrambled the questions so they can't sit and do them together. And then for learning aids, I checked show and review mode only. And this graphing, I do allow them to type in the coordinates. And so what I'm doing here is it'll show them the score and the question results, and it'll show anytime they submit a quiz, they can review it. So pretty much we're giving them all the helps they want after they take a quiz. They can go back through, they can see what they did wrong, and they can retake it again. We're doing this for two reasons. So they can help study for their paper pencil exam, and this actually counts towards about 15% of that exam. So what we're doing is saying, hey, this quiz has got about 15 points. The test is worth 100. 15 of those 100 points will come from this online quiz. The rest comes from the paper and pencil exams. And we want them to redo these a whole bunch to do as best they can in that 15% to both study and, you know, and encourage them to learn from their mistakes within a setting where there's not helps. So I'm going to hit save and assign here. All right, so if we look at the Cycle 1 Part 1, so it's due the day before the exam. You saw the settings. You can go in there and tweak those if you'd like. And I've done that for all these quizzes. In fact, I'm going to go in here and hit settings for class again for the cycle 1 part 2 quiz. It's due the day before the exam. The exam's on the 14th. I'm going to do the 13th. I'm going to change this so they have the save later option, 30 minutes. They can, they can review everything. And that there must be no graphing questions in that one. Save and assign. So you get the idea. So if you ever want to tweak these, that's how you do it. There are a few of these others like this. Section 1.9 actually had 2 homeworks. Well, the reason there is because some of these are customized questions. You only put about 10 per section. So actually about 20 some questions between these 2 sections. This might be a little too many. So again, but right now I've assigned both. And this is something we can discuss in our online meetings. We can always unassign or make one optional. And there's a couple others like that too down here in section 4.2. There's 3 of these. There's a ton of questions here, but these are on like conversions. Again, we can maybe decide if we want to assign all 3 or not. But right now I do have them assigned. And I've got the sections we are not doing unchecked here. I don't have the cycle 4 recap with the part 2 since we do those. I've gone through and modified these quizzes on cycle 4 and cycle 3, I think, to reflect what we're doing and the ones we're not doing, but we can double check those as well. But I think everything is set and ready to go here. So I hope that that kind of helps explain the homework part, the online homework. I'm going to go through quickly my grading that I'm going to do. So here's my syllabus. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. Here's my calendar, shows you what I'm going to do each week. And then you can go through that. And then I'm going to go to my grading right here. So this is what I'm trying to do this semester. This is different. I'm doing a daily 5, which means every day I'm going to give them 5 points. 1 for showing up, 1 for showing up on time, 1 for participating in the groups well. 1 point, I'm going to give them a quiz right at the beginning. It's going to be a homework question, either from online or paper pencil from the day before or 2 days before. And then I'm going to walk around and check those quizzes and then just make sure they've made adequate effort on their homework. So that's the 5 points I'm going to give them every day to kind of take care of their paper pencil homework, make them accountable to that, and then make sure that they're working. The online homework, like I showed you, is with 15%. That'll automatically be graded online, and I've weighted the online homework appropriately. And I made a category, and I think I'll go into my Math Lab gradebook and show you what I did there. And then the paper and pencil test right here. It even shows the 15 points from the online quiz plus the paper and pencil. Then here's the focus problems, 10% for those. The notebook check, I'm just making that 5% at the end of each each exam to encourage them to keep writing their problems out from their online work. And then there's a comprehensive final. So there's the weight, 20%, there's 35, there's 75, 85, 90, and 100%. So that's the grading I'm going to try this semester. You are more than welcome to do anything else, but I just wanted to explain my thinking because we know daily attendance is so important in this class, and we want to reward that and make sure they get in the habit of doing that. So I'm going to go back to my Math Lab real quick and show you the, I'm going to go to the grade book here, and then I'm going to go to change weights just so you can see. So here's the online homework, 15%. There's the quizzes, which is the online quizzes plus the paper and pencil tests, which we can make an offline item under the category of quizzes. There's my daily 5, which is 20%. And then the study plan, which this will be the focus problems plus the notebook. I know that's weird, but actually I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to change that actually, because I think study plan makes you actually do the study plan in my Math Lab. So I'm going to do that, and I'm actually going to put this other 15% over here, I think. I'm going to put that. So that's going to be part of their homework grade. So I'm going to make the focus problems and the notebook check part of that. So I'm going to make that actually 30 points in this weighted grade book. So that'll take care of the online homework, the focus problems, and the notebook. They're all going to be under the category of homework since that seems all appropriate. And there's the tests and quizzes right there. This is the final, which is the weighted 10% And there's my daily 5. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and hit save on that. Update. There we go. All right. Well, I know there's a lot there. I'm sure we'll be talking more about this in January, but I just wanted to shoot a video out to give you an idea of what we're thinking. And please shoot me any questions if you have. Have a great day and Merry Christmas.